Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Carl Fitzpatrick.
Welcome back to Business Matters with me, Carl Fitzpatrick. And I'm joined on the line by David Kieran of Zoma. David, over the course of the interview, we'll be discussing how you built a business on the back of Shopify and why you recently decided to enter the food delivery app space. But to start, provide us with an insight into your journey.
It's been a long journey in such a short space of time, if you can say that. So as I graduated from DCU back in 2012, I kind of left college not really knowing where I wanted to go. I had a business and marketing degree and was actually working in my dad's business at the time, which was a hire company. And at that time, he was looking to get a website for his own business. And I just seen the difficulty he had, all the different things he had to go through in order to get it. And that kind of opened my eyes back in 2013 to the digital landscape. And then moving out of that in 2015, myself and my wife moved to Vancouver, and I got working with a digital marketing company over in Vancouver. And that's where I really seen the gaps and how far behind the Irish market was compared to the North American market and the systems and software they were using over there. And it just completely opened my eyes to what was available to businesses and how it wasn't being utilised in Ireland. So I took all that experience home with me, and that's where I set up the company in 2016.
So what is the size and scale of Zoma today?
So we're currently out of a team of 14 people here in Dundalk. We're after moving into our brand new HQ there in September 23. And we invested over $500,000 in the refurbishment of an old building here. We're on about 1.4 million revenue. Huge growth in the last 3 to 4 years, kind of post-COVID was a major growth for us.
Talk to us about your relationship with Shopify.
We've been one of the largest Shopify agencies across Europe. Shopify has become the leading e-commerce platform, the kind of go-to e-commerce platform globally, from businesses starting out, with 1 to 2 products, right up to stores like Nike, Kylie Jenner's cosmetics brands. All of them are all on Shopify at the minute. When I got working over in Vancouver was where I was introduced to Shopify, and I seen, how scaled it was for businesses to grow their e-commerce businesses all online through their platform. And that's where I brought that platform back, and it's probably one of the first businesses offering Shopify services back in 2017. And to this day, it's still the go-to one for e-commerce services. It's robust, it has everything that you need to develop an e-commerce system. You're not relying on external plugins or anything like that to come in and make your business work.
And apart from AI, what are the other emerging trends in marketing that businesses should be aware of in 2025?
The biggest trend we're seeing today is EGC, which is employee-generated content. Like last year was user-generated content, whereas where someone who buys your product went on to social media to review it, highlight it, say how they got on using the product. It's shifting now to EGC, which is your own employees selling a product or service for you. It creates a trust or reliability, creates that engagement where people want to buy from that person. So a lot of companies are investing in content creation around EGC and putting their employees to the front of their service offering and their product offering. And like, look, if my employee here can back this product and service, well, then it's going to be a good product or service. So that's an area business should look towards in 2025.
And what are your thoughts on live social shopping on the likes of TikTok?
Yeah, look, it's a huge emerging trend. The only thing I would always say is for every business and for every industry, the return on investment has to be monitored. You could spend a lot of time on live shopping on TikTok and going after these platforms, but they might not actually be the platform for your business. If you have a more B2B focused product, that would work better, say, through LinkedIn or through Google Ads or through YouTube or something like that. Whereas obviously a B2C product works better on TikTok, Instagram. So it's just being aware of what your industry is, where your customers are, and then looking at live shopping and all these other features that are coming into the market is where you can see then is it a return on investment and what going developing the content and everything out of that.
How do you use AI during the creative process, and what results does it deliver for your team?
We've started to embrace AI over the last 2 years. The biggest embrace we had was in terms of lead generation and how, say, an email coming into us, like we'd have phone calls, emails, whatever, for leads, pulling them into our CRM system directly and then opening up a system of kind of onboarding with that client. So qualifying the client, onboarding the client, asking the right questions for our sales team actually engage with them. So you get a full understanding of, okay, this person has X amount of budget, this person is looking for this services. So there's a really clear picture there before you even start to engage with that client. And then feeding AI or creative end, like ChatGPT is a really good tool there for brainstorming and starting to get something on paper. It's, like we would always sit down as a team and have collaborative ideas on projects. If you're working as an individual, you mightn't have that team collaborative together. And that's where ChatGPT could assist you in generating ideas out that you have something to start with and work with. And then you can obviously tailor and alter them for you. There's loads and loads of AI software out there, it's constantly updating, we're constantly learning and upgrading ourselves when it comes to like image editing, video editing. There's AI tools there to assist with it all. You have Zapier coming in, which is integrating all your CRM systems together and all your functions in your business. So we use AI nearly every day now, and it's hard to believe you wouldn't have thought that a couple of years ago.
And for anybody listening this morning that would like to pursue a career in branding and design, what advice have you got for them?
Try and identify gaps in the market. Like, we're always looking at potential routes into different areas. We've the food ordering system Munched, which we can talk about later on, in terms of that's where we've seen a gap in the market and we went for it. So if you see a gap with there that okay, I have a really good product or a really good vision or a really good service, I can go into this area, go for it. And as I say, no idea is a bad idea. Run it, just plan ahead, make sure you get your brand identity, your service offering right. The way I started back in 2016 was I knew if I'd done a good job for someone, it'd probably lead to 2 jobs because the referral was there. Same way, if you have a painter coming into your house, he does a good job, you're nearly referring him on to your friends or whatever it is. So I was in the same mindset. So make sure you get your referral marketing strategy correct in the beginning and do a good job for someone. In itself will lead to more business.
And David, talk to us about Munched. What is it, and what was the gap in the market that you identified?
Yeah, so back probably this time last year, we got working with a online food ordering system, and we just kind of dived into the bones of it and seen their offering, all the system around it, and we felt that the product wasn't good enough for what the customer was paying. So what we started then was we started developing our own system called Munch, and we started testing it with our local takeaway. The biggest thing in the market is the commission fees that takeaways and restaurants are paying for online orders. They can range from anywhere from 4 to 30%, which is crazy when you think of if you have an average order value of €25, a takeaway could potentially be losing 30% of that online without any other areas coming off that bill with labour or whatever it is. So we've developed out Munch, which is a full online ordering system. You can go in and order your food for takeaways, and it's a 1% model compared to 4 to 30%. So it's a huge saving for takeaways. And the example I gave you there, the first takeaway we started working with saved nearly 100,000 in the first year of using it. So we're rolling it out nationally now this year. It's already nearly 100 clients in the Northeast on it. So it's a huge saving, and it's going to be a huge growth product for us in 2025.
And what's the growth potential for the app over the coming years?
It's endless, to be honest. We see this becoming one of the main apps in the online food ordering systems out there. There's no limits to where we can go with it. The app, the software is built. It's a matter of just onboarding the client, putting a menu on it, and away to go. So sky's the limit with it, really. We're looking at a rollout strategy for Ireland and the UK in 2025, and after that, we'll be looking at internalisation first.
There's an old Chinese proverb that says, if you try to chase 2 rabbits, you're bound to catch none. I'm interested to find out how you manage your time between both Munched and Zoma today to ensure that Zoma isn't negatively affected by the launch of a second business.
I structure my days, accordingly, so that I'm giving both businesses the same amount of time and effort. Now, there's certain times where one business might need more than the other, but we've such a good team here in Zoma that it's very easy for us to share time across either Zoma or Munched, and then develop out. We have the creativity here, to develop out for both brands so that they complement each other. So to date, we've been able to manage it quite efficiently. As Munch grows, it's obviously going to need more people, more team, more investment, more everything, and I'll have to become even more structured. But thankfully, to date now, we've been able to manage it quite well. So I can't see them taking from each other at the minute, but it's a constant planning. You're getting up, you're setting your days. I live by Google Calendar, putting in a set amount of meetings, even putting in my free time, that it's planned what I'm doing in my free time, so that that you are coordinated for your day and your weeks and months ahead.
So finally, David, what does the future hold for Zoma?
To us, we feel the biggest opportunity for Zoma is in offering AI services, and we're starting to roll out an AI agency kind of where we're coming in and helping with making business digitally adapt. Like, there's so many businesses you walk into today and there's still pen and paper, and invoicing, dockets, everything is all pen and paper. The way I look at it is, if you're doing repeat tasks regularly in one day, that's probably something that can become automated now, and there's a huge demand for that service now, and very few people are offering that service in terms of AI implementation. And obviously there's a huge learning and knowledge assessment for AI, and we're doing that, and then bringing that service into implementation stage is another ball game. But that's where I see a huge offer and a huge area of kind of growth for Zoma over the next couple of years, is through digitalization and AI.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was David Kieran of Zoma and Munched, and we wish David every continued success.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Carl Fitzpatrick.